I think the hard part when I was in college was knowing that I was going to lose my eyesight. A lot of questions went through my mind. What will I do for a living? If I'm blind, nobody had to tell me the things that I would never do. I was all too aware of that. I had questions about my family. What kind of woman would want to commit herself to a life with a husband that would be blind?
I want somebody that would put a relationship with God ahead of a relationship with me. Well, it was Alan. And he came to my door, and sure enough, I knew him from high school. And he was literally blind. So I had a literal blind date with him. And it was after that we knew. I knew the first night I went out with him that he was the one.
Ultimately, while I was in college, I did lose my eyesight. I think I learned a lot when I became dependent on other people for very simple things in life. And learning to trust and depend on other people, I think, has served me well in public service. Ultimately, I regained my eyesight through two different cornea transplants. My mother was in the examining room with me, and they took the patch off. And I could see across the room, and I remember saying to my mother, "I can see your face." That's emotional in and of itself. When they do cornea transplants, they don't have to match tissue or blood type. They do have to match age. I was 21 years old when I had the first one. I was 23 years old when I had the second one. That means in my mind, I know that there's a family that lost a 20-some-year-old child, father, grandchild. And that's emotional, to know that on the very worst day of a family's life, they thought about somebody other than themselves. I think it's also caused me to have a deep sense of obligation to live my life in a way that honors that death. In a very real sense, I live my life to fulfill my purpose, but also to fulfill the purposes of those who died and now I see because of them. I'm Alan Nunnelee, and I approve this message.